The alarms rang through Earth's orbital defense station as an unknown ship approached. Captain Mills watched the damaged vessel struggle through space, leaving a trail of glowing debris. The ship looked nothing like any human design. Its smooth, curved surfaces reflected light like precious gems, but deep cracks ran along its hull. "Sir, we're getting a transmission," reported Communications Officer Davis. "It's coming from that ship." "Put it through," Mills ordered. The main screen flickered, showing a tall figure with pale blue skin and large silver eyes. Despite obvious exhaustion, the being carried herself with royal dignity. When she spoke, her voice was melodic but filled with urgent desperation. "I am Queen Zara of the Valerian Empire. I request sanctuary and immediate audience with your planetary leaders. My people face extinction, and time grows short." Mills had seen many things during his years in space defense, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. "Your Majesty, this is Captain Mills of Earth Defense Station Alpha. We will provide emergency docking. Medical teams are standing by." "I thank you, Captain Mills. But my wounds are not the concern. It is my people who suffer, and yours who face the same fate if we cannot act quickly." 2 hours later, Queen Zara sat in the station's main conference room. Admiral Chen, Earth's top military strategist, studied the alien queen with careful attention. Around the table sat other key figures: General Martinez from Ground Forces, Colonel Park from Special Operations, and Dr. Watson, Earth's leading expert on alien technologies. Queen Zara's crystalline skin caught the room's lights, creating small rainbows on the walls. Despite her alien appearance, her emotions were clearly human-like. Sadness, determination, and desperate hope showed in her silver eyes. 3 days ago, the Korthak Empire attacked my homeworld without warning," she began. "They are not like us. They are beings of metal and circuits who believe organic life is weak and must be eliminated or converted." Admiral Chen leaned forward. "What exactly are these Korthaks?" "They were once organic beings like us, but centuries ago they replaced their bodies with machines. Now they see all natural life as flawed. They conquer worlds not for resources or territory, but to prove their superiority and harvest biological knowledge." "And they defeated your forces?" General Martinez asked. Queen Zara's expression grew pained. "The Valerian Empire was peaceful. We had defensive capabilities, but we were not prepared for their level of aggression. They struck our military installations first, then began systematic capture of our civilians." She activated a small device that projected holographic images above the table. The scenes showed beautiful cities with flowing architecture being bombarded by dark metallic ships. The humans watched in silence as the recordings showed Valerian citizens being taken prisoner. "They took my daughter, Princess Nala," Queen Zara continued, her voice breaking slightly. "She was visiting our agricultural colonies when the attack began. The Korthaks now hold her in their fortress ship as leverage against me." Dr. Watson studied the holographic data. "What do they want from you specifically?" "Our biotechnology. The Valerian Empire has spent thousands of years developing ways to enhance organic life. We can accelerate healing, improve physical abilities, and extend lifespans through natural means. The Korthaks want these secrets to create hybrid technologies." "To what end?" Admiral Chen asked. "To build an army that combines mechanical precision with organic adaptability. They plan to use this knowledge to conquer every living world in the galaxy." Colonel Park, who had remained quiet until now, spoke up. "And Earth is on their list?" Queen Zara met his gaze directly. "Captain Mills, may I speak plainly about what I observed during my escape?" Mills nodded, though he felt a chill at her tone. "The Korthaks already possess star charts marking Earth's location. They study your species with great interest. Humans puzzle them because you advance quickly despite internal conflicts. They see you as either a valuable addition to their forces or a dangerous threat to be eliminated." The room fell silent. Each person understood the implications. Earth faced the same fate as the Valerian Empire whether they helped or not. Admiral Chen broke the silence. What are you proposing, Your Majesty? A rescue mission to save my daughter and the thousands of prisoners they hold. But more than that, an opportunity to strike a blow against the Korthak Empire before they can complete their preparations. You're talking about military action against a force that defeated your entire civilization, General Martinez pointed out. What makes you think we would succeed where you failed? Queen Zara stood and walked to the viewing window overlooking Earth. The blue planet turned slowly below, showing continents and clouds. Because humans possess something my people lack, something the Korthaks cannot understand. Which is? Colonel Park asked. Adaptive diversity. My people were united but similar in thinking. The Korthaks are perfectly coordinated but predictable. Humans argue, disagree, and approach problems from countless different angles. This chaos that seems like weakness is actually your greatest strength. Dr. Watson pulled up files on his tablet. Our analysis of your ship's damage shows weapon signatures we haven't encountered before. Their technology is clearly advanced. Yes, but technology alone did not defeat us, Queen Zara replied. The Korthaks succeeded because they predicted our responses perfectly. We fought with honor and tradition. They fought with cold calculation. But humans fight with unpredictable creativity. Admiral Chen exchanged glances with his colleagues. Even if we agreed to help, we would need our best people for such a mission. I have already identified candidates through your public records, Queen Zara said, returning to the table. Tom Richardson, a tactical officer known for unconventional strategies that confuse even his own allies until victory is achieved. She activated her device again, showing personnel files. Ben Harper, former Special Forces operative with experience in hostile alien environments. Lisa Kim, an engineer who successfully merged human and alien technologies during the Centauri crisis. And Sam Rodriguez, a pilot whose reflexes and adaptability have impressed visiting alien dignitaries. Colonel Park raised an eyebrow. You've done your homework. My intelligence network provided this information during my journey to Earth. These individuals represent the qualities that make humans formidable: Tom's tactical creativity, Ben's combat adaptability, Lisa's technological innovation, and Sam's intuitive piloting. General Martinez frowned. 4 people against an empire. 4 humans working with my remaining loyal guards and whatever prisoners we can liberate, Queen Zara corrected. The Korthaks hold beings from 12 different species. If we can coordinate their escape, we gain a diverse force with varied abilities. Admiral Chen studied the tactical projections. What's the timeline? The Korthaks plan to execute my daughter in 72 hours as an example to other civilizations. They want to demonstrate that even royal bloodlines cannot resist their power. That's not much time for planning, Colonel Park observed. It is enough time for humans to do what they do best, Queen Zara replied. Improvise, adapt, and overcome impossible odds. The human leaders looked at each other. Each understood the weight of the decision. Refusing meant abandoning innocent lives and possibly facing the Korthaks later without allies. Agreeing meant risking their best people on a desperate mission. Admiral Chen made the choice. We'll need to brief the team immediately. Dr. Watson, start analyzing Valerian and Korthak technologies. General Martinez, prepare backup support forces. Colonel Park, coordinate with our Alien Relations Department. And the mission parameters? Captain Mills asked. Queen Zara's expression showed the first hope she had displayed since arriving. Primary objective is rescuing Princess Nala and the other prisoners. Secondary objective is gathering intelligence on Korthak capabilities. But there is a third objective that could change everything. Which is? Admiral Chen prompted. The fortress ship contains the Korthak Empire's central military database. If we could access it, we might learn the locations of their other operations and find weaknesses in their technology. A triple mission with a 72-hour deadline, Colonel Park summarized. Against technologically superior enemies in their own territory. Yes, Queen Zara agreed. Impossible by any reasonable military assessment. Admiral Chen smiled grimly. Then it sounds like the perfect mission for humans. Within hours, the 4 selected operatives had been contacted and briefed. Tom Richardson arrived first, already analyzing tactical possibilities. Ben Harper came equipped for immediate departure. Lisa Kim brought her modified engineering tools. Sam Rodriguez appeared ready to pilot anything with engines. As Queen Zara watched them gather in the briefing room, she felt something she had not experienced since the invasion began. These humans carried themselves differently than her people or the court hacks. They showed determination mixed with excitement, as if impossible odds made the mission more appealing rather than less. Your Majesty, Tom said after reviewing the mission parameters, we understand the risks. But we also see the opportunity. The opportunity? She asked. Ben stepped forward. To prove that organic life isn't weak. To show the galaxy that cooperation beats domination. And to give those court hacks a lesson in human problem solving, Sam added with a confident grin. Lisa nodded agreement. We've got ideas for combining your biotechnology with our adaptive engineering. The court hacks won't know what hit them. Queen Zara felt tears forming in her silver eyes. For the first time since her world fell, she truly believed her daughter might survive. More than that, she believed the galaxy might have found champions capable of standing against the mechanical tyranny spreading through the stars. The rescue mission would launch in 18 hours. Earth's greatest warriors were ready to face the impossible. The captured Korthak scout ship drifted silently through the dark regions of space where the enemy empire maintained its fortress fleet. Inside the vessel's cramped quarters, the rescue team made final preparations for their infiltration mission. Tom Richardson studied the holographic display showing the massive Korthak fortress ship. The structure looked more like a mechanical city than a spacecraft. Towers of dark metal stretched in all directions, connected by bridges and energy conduits. Thousands of smaller ships surrounded it like protective insects around a hive. The prison sections are located in the lower levels, Queen Zara explained, pointing to specific areas on the display. My intelligence sources confirmed that Princess Nala and the other captives are held in Section 7. Ben Harper checked his equipment one more time. His weapons were modified with Valerian energy cells that would cut through Korthak armor more effectively than standard human firearms. How do we know this intel is still accurate? Because the court hacks follow precise protocols, Queen Zara replied. They catalog every prisoner according to species, value, and potential usefulness. Once assigned to a section, prisoners remain there unless executed or converted. Lisa Kim looked up from her modified scanner. I've been analyzing their communication frequencies. The court hacks use a predictable rotation pattern for their security codes. Every 6 hours, they cycle through the same sequence. That gives us a window, Tom observed. But we need to move fast once we're inside. Sam Rodriguez piloted their stolen ship with careful precision, avoiding the patrol routes they had observed over the past 12 hours. These court hacks are really predictable, he commented. Their patrols follow exact timing. No variation at all. That's their weakness, Queen Zara said. Mechanical thinking produces mechanical results. They cannot adapt when faced with truly random behavior. The team had spent their travel time studying Korthak psychology and tactics. Unlike organic beings who could change strategies based on emotion, instinct, or creativity, the court hacks followed programmed responses to every situation. This made them incredibly efficient but also vulnerable to unexpected approaches. Approaching the outer perimeter, Sam reported. Their sensors are scanning us. Lisa activated the identification codes they had extracted from the scout ship's computer systems. The wait seemed endless as automated systems processed their clearance. Finally, a mechanical voice responded in the harsh Korthak language. Queen Zara translated. Permission granted to dock at Maintenance Bay 7. We have 15 minutes before the next security sweep. Tight schedule, Ben muttered, but he smiled. Challenging timelines were nothing new for special operations veterans. They docked successfully at the designated bay. The fortress ship's internal atmosphere was breathable but cold, designed for mechanical comfort rather than organic needs. Emergency lighting cast everything in harsh red shadows that made the metal corridors look like passages through some technological underworld. "Stay close and move quietly," Ben whispered as they entered the ship. "Remember, these court hacks hear differently than we do. They detect electronic signatures more easily than footsteps." The team had prepared for this by minimizing their electronic equipment. Instead of high-tech gadgets, they relied on simple tools and human ingenuity. Lisa carried basic components she could assemble into useful devices. Tom brought written maps instead of digital displays. Sam and Ben carried weapons with minimal electronic components. Moving through the fortress ship felt like traveling through a massive machine. Everything was designed with mathematical precision. Corridors intersected at perfect right angles. Lighting panels were spaced at exactly equal intervals. Even the ventilation systems hummed with mechanical regularity. "It's like they sucked all the life out of this place," Sam whispered. "That's exactly what they did," Queen Zara replied softly. "The court hacks fear organic unpredictability because they cannot control it." They reached the first checkpoint after 20 minutes of careful movement. Through the ventilation system, they could observe two Korthak guards standing perfectly still at their posts. The mechanical beings looked like suits of armor brought to life, with glowing red sensors where eyes should be. Lisa studied the security system from her hidden position. The lock uses a combination of biometric scanning and electronic keys. But it's designed only to recognize Korthak signatures. "Can you bypass it?" Tom asked. "Better than that," Lisa replied with a grin. "I can make it think we're authorized court hacks." She pulled out several small components and began assembling a device that would emit the proper electronic signatures. Meanwhile, Ben scouted alternative routes in case the deception failed. "Got it," Lisa announced after 10 minutes of work. "This should fool their scanners for about 30 minutes before the system realizes something is wrong." They passed through the checkpoint without incident. The Korthak guards never moved, continuing their mechanical vigilance. The team began to understand how their enemies' predictability could be exploited. Unlike human guards who might notice small irregularities, the court hacks only responded to programmed threat parameters. The prison sections lay deeper within the fortress ship. As they descended through maintenance shafts and service corridors, the sounds of the massive vessel surrounded them. Engines hummed with constant rhythm. Machinery clicked and whirred according to precise schedules. Occasionally, they heard the metallic footsteps of Korthak patrols moving through distant corridors. "Wait," Ben held up his hand, signaling for silence. Through the walls, they could hear something unexpected: voices. "Those are not Korthak voices," Queen Zara whispered excitedly. "Those are prisoners." Following the sound, they reached a viewing port that looked into one of the prison sections. The sight that greeted them was both heartbreaking and inspiring. Hundreds of beings from different species were crowded into the large chamber. But instead of despair, there was organization. The prisoners had formed groups based on their abilities and were working together despite their captivity. "Look there," Queen Zara pointed to a small figure near the center of the group. Princess Nala. The young Valerian princess was easily recognizable by her royal bearing, but she looked different than in the formal portraits Tom had studied. Her crystalline skin showed scars from rough treatment, and her silver eyes held a hardness that spoke of recent trauma. But she was actively moving among the other prisoners, organizing them and offering comfort. "She's become their leader," Queen Zara observed with obvious pride and concern. "That's going to make extraction more complicated," Ben noted. "She won't want to leave the others behind." Tom studied the prison layout through the viewing port. "How many prisoners total?" "Over 2,000 from 12 different species," Queen Zara replied. "The court hacks have been collecting them from across the galaxy." Lisa examined the prison's security systems. The locks are similar to what we encountered earlier, but there are more of them. And there are guards posted throughout the section. How many guards? Sam asked. At least 50 that I can see, Ben replied after studying the layout. All positioned at strategic points to prevent any coordinated escape attempt. Tom made a decision that would change everything about their mission. We're not leaving them behind. Tom, our orders were to rescue the princess, Ben reminded him. Our orders were to rescue her and gather intelligence, Tom replied. But we're human. We don't leave people behind when we can save them. Queen Zara looked at him with surprise. You would risk the entire mission to save prisoners you do not even know. That's what humans do, Sam said simply. It's what makes us human. Lisa was already working on a new plan. If we're going to extract everyone, we need a major distraction. Something that will draw the guards away from the prison sections. I might have an idea, Tom said, studying the fortress ship's layout. But it's going to require us to split up, and it's definitely not going to be subtle. What are you thinking? Ben asked. We create multiple diversions throughout the ship. Overload their response systems by hitting targets in different sections simultaneously. While they're dealing with the chaos, we break open the prisons and coordinate an escape. Queen Zara considered the plan. It could work, but the risks are enormous. If we fail, everyone dies. If we don't try, everyone dies anyway, Tom replied. The court hacks plan to execute your daughter as an example. What do you think happens to the other prisoners after that? The truth was sobering. The court hacks saw prisoners as temporary resources. Once they had extracted whatever value they could from each captive, execution or conversion to mechanical servants would follow. There's something else, Lisa said, reviewing her scanner readings. I'm detecting the central computer core about 3 levels up from here. If we could access it during the chaos, we might be able to download their military database. That would complete all 3 mission objectives simultaneously, Tom realized. Rescue the prisoners, save the princess, and gather crucial intelligence. While fighting through an entire fortress ship full of enemy soldiers, Ben added. I like those odds. Sam grinned. Sounds like a typical Tuesday for humans. They spent the next hour developing their plan. Tom would coordinate the diversions while Ben led the prison break. Lisa would attempt to access the central computer during the confusion. Sam would prepare their escape route and be ready to pilot them away from the fortress. What about getting Princess Nala to cooperate? Queen Zara asked. She may not trust humans she has never met. Leave that to me, Queen Zara decided. I will contact her directly and explain the situation. Using a short-range communication device, Queen Zara established contact with her daughter. The reunion was brief but emotional, conducted in whispered Valerian phrases. Tom watched as Princess Nala's expression changed from surprise to hope to grim determination. She agrees to the plan, Queen Zara reported. And she has been preparing the other prisoners for exactly this type of opportunity. Preparing them how? Ben asked. She has been teaching them to work together despite their differences. Each species contributes their unique abilities to the group. The insectoid Threx provide reconnaissance with their enhanced hearing. The energy-based Luminari can create light displays to confuse sensors. The strong Gravani can break through barriers. Tom felt excitement building. She's created a diverse tactical unit. Without even knowing our plan, Lisa observed. That's impressive strategic thinking. She is her mother's daughter, Queen Zara said proudly. The team made final preparations for their coordinated assault. Each person understood their role and the risks involved. Success would require perfect timing, creative problem solving, and more than a little luck. Remember, Tom told them as they prepared to separate, court hacks think in predictable patterns. They will respond to each crisis according to their programming. But they cannot process multiple simultaneous problems that require different types of responses. In other words, we're going to confuse them to death, Sam said with satisfaction. Exactly, Tom replied. Now let's show these mechanical bullies what happens when they mess with organic life. The mission was about to begin, and everything would depend on humanity's greatest strength, the ability to work together and adapt to changing circumstances. The fortress ship's alarms were about to sound, and the real battle was about to start. The first explosion rocked the upper levels of the Korthak fortress ship exactly as Tom had planned. Emergency lights bathed the metal corridors in pulsing red as automated systems tried to identify the source of the disturbance. 3 levels down, Ben watched Korthak guards rushing toward the explosion site in perfect formation, leaving the prison sections with minimal coverage. Phase 1 complete, Tom's voice crackled through their short-range communicators. Guards are responding exactly as predicted. Lisa had positioned herself near the central computer core, waiting for her moment. The massive processing center hummed with mechanical precision, its data banks containing the military secrets of an entire empire. I'm seeing reduced security here too, she reported. Their response protocols are pulling guards from everywhere. Beginning Phase 2, Ben announced as he approached the prison section entrance. The remaining Korthak guards stood at their posts, but their attention was focused on the distant alarms rather than their immediate surroundings. Ben activated Lisa's electronic masking device and walked confidently toward the security checkpoint. The Korthak scanned him with their sensors, found nothing suspicious according to their programming, and allowed him to pass. Sometimes the best disguise was simply acting like you belonged somewhere. Inside the prison chamber, Princess Nala had already begun organizing the captives according to the plan she had developed with her mother. The young Valerian princess moved between different species groups, speaking in multiple languages and using hand gestures where words failed. Friends from many worlds, she addressed the gathered prisoners. Freedom comes today, but we must work together to seize it. A towering Gravani male stepped forward, his rock-like skin showing scars from Korthak weapons. Princess, we trust your leadership, but how can we escape this fortress? By doing something the Korthaks cannot predict, Princess Nala replied. By combining all our different abilities into something greater than the sum of our parts. Ben reached the prison entrance and began working on the electronic locks with tools Lisa had modified. The Korthak security systems were sophisticated but designed only to keep prisoners in, not to stop someone with proper access codes from entering. Meanwhile, Tom triggered the second phase of diversions. Small explosions and system failures began occurring throughout the fortress ship in a carefully planned sequence. Each new crisis demanded Korthak attention while revealing nothing about the true location of the infiltrators. The Mechanical Empire's forces responded exactly as Tom had predicted. Squads of guards moved in organized patterns toward each disturbance, following predetermined protocols that made their movements predictable. What the Korthaks gained in efficiency, they lost in adaptability. This is amazing, Sam reported from his position near their escape ship. I can literally predict where they're going to be 5 minutes from now. They have no tactical flexibility at all. Lisa used the growing chaos to access the central computer core. Her modified scanner interfaced with Korthak systems using protocols she had developed during their journey. I'm in, she announced. Downloading their military database now. The information flowing into her device revealed the true scope of the Korthak threat. Fleet positions, planned invasion targets, technological specifications, and most importantly, the locations of other prisoner facilities throughout the galaxy. Earth was indeed on their target list, scheduled for conquest within 6 months. Back in the prison section, Ben successfully opened the main security door just as the third wave of diversions began. Princess Nala had prepared the prisoners well. Instead of rushing toward the exits in panic, they moved in coordinated groups according to their abilities. The insectoid Threx used their enhanced hearing to scout ahead, detecting Korthak movement through the metal walls. The energy-based Luminari created bright flashes that overloaded mechanical sensors. The powerful Gravani broke through secondary barriers while smaller species like the nimble Pixari disabled security devices with their tiny hands. Your human friends planned well, Princess Nala told her mother through the communication link. Each diversion forces the court hacks to respond with different types of units. They cannot concentrate their forces. Queen Zara watched from their hidden position as her daughter led hundreds of prisoners through the fortress ship corridors. The sight filled her with pride and hope. She has become a true leader, she whispered to herself. Tom triggered his final diversion, the largest explosion yet, in the fortress ship's primary power distribution center. This created exactly the chaos he needed while avoiding damage to life support systems that kept the prisoners alive. The Korthak response was immediate and overwhelming. Hundreds of mechanical warriors converged on the power center, leaving most other sections of the ship virtually unguarded. Their programming demanded they protect critical systems above all other considerations. Perfect, Ben said as he led the first group of prisoners toward the escape route. Tom, your timing is incredible. Just human intuition, Tom replied, but his voice showed the strain of coordinating multiple operations simultaneously. How's that database download, Lisa? Almost complete, Lisa responded, her fingers flying over her modified equipment. But I'm seeing something interesting. The court hacks have a central weakness in their command structure. What kind of weakness? Princess Nala asked as her group moved through an abandoned corridor. All their military decisions flow through a single artificial intelligence called the Supreme Logic. It processes every strategic choice for the entire empire. If we could disrupt that system, we might cripple their ability to coordinate attacks. Sam's voice joined the conversation from his position near their escape ship. That sounds like something worth pursuing later, but right now we need to get everyone out of here. I'm detecting Korthak reinforcements approaching from outside the fortress. The escape had reached its most dangerous phase. Hundreds of prisoners from 12 different species were moving through enemy territory while mechanical warriors searched for the source of the diversions. Success would depend on continued coordination and creative problem-solving. Princess Nala proved her leadership abilities by organizing the different species into a unified force. The tall Avalari used their long limbs to carry smaller species over obstacles. The aquatic Nereids shared their water supplies with others. The telepathic Mindari provided communication links between groups that spoke different languages. This is what the court hacks fear most, Queen Zara observed as she watched the cooperation unfold. Organic beings working together despite their differences. Ben led the first group to the escape ship while Princess Nala coordinated the movement of the remaining prisoners. The rescue had become something larger than anyone had planned. Instead of saving one person, they were liberating an entire population. Lisa completed the database download just as Korthak technicians arrived to investigate the computer access. Her electronic masking device allowed her to slip away, but she had gathered enough information to change the entire strategic situation. The Supreme Logic is located in their capital ship, she reported as she moved toward the rendezvous point. And I found something else. The court hacks have been studying human tactics from their encounters with our exploration ships. They're specifically trying to develop countermeasures for human unpredictability. Too bad for them that unpredictability cannot be predicted, Tom replied as he set his final charges. These explosions would provide cover for the escape while avoiding harm to any remaining prisoners. The fortress ship shuddered as Tom's charges detonated in sequence. Emergency systems activated throughout the vessel while automated repair crews rushed to contain the damage. In the confusion, the escaped prisoners reached the docking bays where Sam had prepared multiple ships for their departure. How did you get so many ships ready? Ben asked as he helped load the former captives. Turns out the court hacks keep everything perfectly organized and fueled, Sam replied. Their obsession with efficiency made it easy to identify which ships were ready for immediate departure. Princess Nala was among the last to board, ensuring that every prisoner had escaped safely. Her leadership during the crisis had transformed her from a royal captive into a proven military commander. The other species looked to her with respect that had been earned through courage and competence. All prisoners accounted for, she reported as their small fleet prepared for departure. Every being who entered this fortress alive is now free. The escape fleet launched just as the Korthak Emperor himself arrived in his massive dreadnought. The mechanical ruler had come to oversee the execution of Princess Nala, only to find his fortress ship in chaos and his prisoners gone. "Unknown vessels, you will stop immediately and prepare for boarding," came the transmission from the Emperor's ship. "This is Princess Nala of the Valerian Empire," she responded, her voice carrying new authority. "Your reign of terror ends today." The Emperor's mechanical voice showed no emotion as he replied. "Organic Princess, you delay the inevitable. The Korthak Empire will convert or destroy all biological life. This small victory changes nothing." "You're wrong," Tom interjected, joining the communication. "This victory changes everything." As if to prove his point, the rescued prisoners began broadcasting on all frequencies, calling to their home worlds in dozens of languages. The galaxy would soon know that the Korthak Empire could be defeated, that organic life could triumph over mechanical tyranny. Lisa transmitted the stolen military database to Earth and the governments of every species they had rescued. The information revealed Korthak fleet positions, planned invasions, and most importantly, the location of the supreme logic that controlled their empire. "You have given us intelligence," the Emperor stated, analyzing their broadcasts. "But you cannot escape our pursuit." "We don't need to escape," Sam replied as he piloted their ship with impossible precision through the asteroid field where they had planned their final surprise. "We just need to show you something." Hidden among the asteroids waited ships from every species they had rescued. The prisoners' broadcasts had not only informed their home worlds but had also provided coordinates for this meeting. In the 3 days since Queen Zara's arrival at Earth, word of the rescue mission had spread through underground networks across the galaxy. The Korthak Emperor found himself facing not just a few escaped prisoners, but a hastily assembled fleet representing dozens of worlds. Each species contributed their unique technologies and capabilities to create a force the mechanical empire had never encountered. "This is impossible," the Emperor's voice finally showed something resembling confusion. "Organic species cannot coordinate effectively. Your differences make you weak." "Our differences make us strong," Princess Nala replied. "And we learned that from humans." The battle that followed proved the effectiveness of diversity over uniformity. While the Korthak forces fought with mechanical precision, the Organic Alliance adapted constantly to changing conditions. Human tactical leadership combined with alien technologies and unique species abilities created combinations the Emperor's supreme logic could not process. When the battle ended, the Korthak dreadnought was disabled and the Emperor himself was forced to retreat. More importantly, the rescued prisoners had formed the foundation of what would become the Organic Alliance, with Earth as a founding member and humans recognized as master strategists and bridge builders. Princess Nala established the Unity Academy on her restored homeworld, where beings from different species learned to fight and work together using principles developed during their escape from the Korthak fortress. The Academy became a symbol of hope throughout the galaxy. Tom, Ben, Lisa, and Sam returned to Earth as heroes, but their greatest achievement was not their individual heroism. They had proven that humanity's true strength lay not in superior technology or overwhelming force, but in their ability to inspire others and find creative solutions to impossible problems. The galaxy had found its champions, and they were exactly the kind of unlikely heroes that organic life deserved.